Hello, hello. Hello. Okay, I'm live. I wasn't sure because it's giving me all kinds of interesting commentary on here on StreamYard. I'm mostly decent. Y'all, 30 minutes ago, I was looking a hot mess. Um while I wait for people to join and wait for you guys to come up with your questions for me today, because this is my monthly free live Q&A for anyone who wants to join and hang out. I just want to say really quickly that Black women's hair is such a source of, like, it is a source of joy and fun. It's how we express ourselves. It's very versatile. Um, and whatnot, but it can also be such a source of stress and anxiety. For the last 2 days, I've been trying so hard to figure out what to do with my hair. This is a wig. It looks like a wig to me. It looks very wiggy to me. Um, it definitely looks like I'm getting wiggy with it over here. Um, but I just feel like it's such a source. It can be such a source of joy when we love our hair, right? It's such a great source of um expressing our personalities and who we are, but it can be such a source of anxiety and stress because, I feel like I spent the last 3 days trying to figure out what the heck to do with my hair. I still don't know. I do not like wearing wigs. They hurt my head. Like, I end up with a headache. Like, I just threw this wig on for this session, but I'm in the middle of like trying to figure out what to do with my hair because it's just, y'all, like, my curls are gone. Like, I don't have curls anymore because I got keratin treatment. So my curl pattern's gone. So I can't wear it curly anymore. I'm not good at straightening it at all. And my stylist is in Atlanta. Um, I'm tired of wearing braids. Like, it's just a lot. And I'm leaving the country for 2 weeks and I'm working out. On top of that, I'm working out. So, like, I'm not good at straightening my hair. And on top of that, I go to the gym. I work out pretty much 6 days a week. So, like, trying to wear it straight, even, V parts, this is not a beauty YouTube channel. I am just killing time. Hi, people who are joining. I know I'm talking about hair, but this is really a remote work conversation. This is really a Q&A for you guys to ask me anything related to remote work, anything that you want to know. But I just got on here talking about hair because 30 minutes ago, when I was getting ready for this session, I posted a picture on Instagram that I was looking a hot mess because I had just washed my hair and blow dried it and was like trying to figure out what to do with it before I got on this call. So I'm just rambling about my frustrations with hair. Like, I'm tired of wearing braids. I thought I was going to be a wig girly. This is a wig. I think it very much looks like a wig, to be honest. I learned a lot about frontals versus full HD lace. So I think next time I will buy an HD lace wig. This is a frontal. But not next time. I'm not a wig girl. They give me headaches. They give me headaches. And let me make it related to remote work. For a lot of us, having to be on camera, especially when you work for a company that insists that you're on camera, like, our hair is not always done and ready to be on camera. And part of the reason why we love being able to work remotely is that we love not having to go through the rigmarole of having to do our hair every single morning or get our hair ready to be quote unquote presentable to go into the office, or to not have anybody comment on our hair. Like, even honestly, even on the computer screen, you can feel those same things that you feel in the office, right? The only difference is no one in the office is going to be like, oh, I didn't recognize you because your hair is different. Because, like, you log into a Teams call, your name is right there. The only difference is no one's going to say I didn't recognize you. Someone's always going to comment, on your hair. And all week last week when I'm on for the last couple of weeks, all week when I'm on calls, I've been wearing hats. I've just been putting on baseball caps because I don't know what to do with my hair right now, y'all. I'm stressed out about it. I just needed to vent. Thank you for letting me vent. Good morning, Lisa. Building a Stable Life. Takesha James, Serenity, Spirit Traveler. What questions do y'all have for me about working remotely? Hello, good morning. Thank you for letting me vent about my hair woes. I don't know what to do, y'all. I'm tired of wearing braids. My curl pattern's gone. I guess usually when I get to this place, I just cut all my hair off and do a TWA. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to cut my hair again. I've cut my hair like 8 times in my life. I've cut it short. God, maybe more than 8. Like I love short hair, but I just don't feel like it. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So I'm gonna kick this off just chatting a little bit about the fact that the job market is slow right now, y'all. It is really slow. I know a lot of you guys are very, very frustrated with, you know, your job search. I know a lot of y'all are frustrated. I know you are. I know you are because the job market is pretty slow. I said it would be at the beginning of the year. If you guys came and hung out with me at the beginning of the year, I talked about my predictions for 2024. And I said that the job market would be slow for the entire year until after the election, which is pretty much the end of the year, right? Partly because we came into this year expecting to be in a recession, right? We came into this year with, companies slightly hiring again, right? Um, and I don't think we've hit that quote unquote recession that we were all ready for, that we were all planning for. We've definitely experienced inflation. I am not an economist at all. That is not my place. So I'm not going to comment about whether or not I think we're truly in a recession or not. I know that we are experiencing inflation. I literally saw someone the other day repurchase all of the groceries on Instacart that they bought 2 years ago. 2 years ago, their Instacart was $176, and he literally just pressed reorder for all of those items, and it was like almost $400. So we are definitely experiencing inflation, and a lot of companies are not loosening up their budgets, including hiring budgets. And I think also between nervousness around quote unquote recession, nervousness around a recession, potential recession, and just we're in an election year. People are unsure. Everybody is unsure about how things will shake out at the end of this year. And so I think a lot of companies are just not making big decisions that cost money, really, is what it is. And so that is not to say that nobody's hiring. That is not at all to say that no one is hiring, right? When one of the things that I continue to say, and I want you to continue to remember, is that just because someone says that the job market is slow or jobs have gone down or open positions have gone down or remote positions have gone down, doesn't mean that they don't exist. Because a lot of times when we're talking about this, we're talking about this from a macro level, and we're talking about millions of jobs, right? We're talking about it's gone, like if you hear somebody say it's gone down by like 7% or 10%, I'm gonna use 10 because that's easier math. We're talking like it went down, or whatever percentage point, we're talking like it went down from 8 million to 5 million, right? So there's still jobs out there, and there's definitely still remote jobs out there. But as you can see, and probably as you all have experienced, it's just the process is slow. The process is super slow. You got a lot of stale job posts out there. You got a lot of ghost posts out there. Like there's not real job postings out there. Companies might be just trying to make sure that they stay relevant, they stay fresh in people's minds. So when they're ready to start hiring, they can. They might just be collecting information and collecting data so that, again, when they're ready to start hiring for real, they can. And some companies are really just literally using job postings as marketing tools. I have seen it myself, and it's pretty frustrating. So I just want to assure you guys that you're not crazy. The job market is pretty slow right now. You're not crazy. You're right to be frustrated. Part-time jobs. What's the best search engine? Every search engine that I have ever shared has part-time jobs on it. I'm gonna say that first. I have never shared a search engine that doesn't have part-time jobs on it. Indeed has part-time jobs. LinkedIn has part-time jobs. Those aren't even the ones that I typically share. I typically share remote websites job boards that are specific to remote companies. I will say over the last 2 years, LinkedIn and Indeed have been better about posting remote jobs. And so both of those are, good what is the word I'm looking for? Sources. But places like remote.co, places that I've always shared, remote.co, we work remotely. Usually these places have a filter, right? So the question is, are you guys actually using the filters when you go on these websites? Are you actually like clicking on the filter and saying, hey, I'm looking for remote, and hey, I'm looking for contract, or I'm looking for part-time work? I think I don't think I've shared any search engine that does not have some part-time jobs on it. So really it's just about making sure that that is what you're looking at, looking for, and filtering for. The other thing I'd say about part-time remote jobs is that you can create them yourself. So I talk a lot about being a freelancer, um, doing whatever it is you do or whatever it is you're interested in doing. So I will tell you that I do part-time freelancing as a project manager sometimes. I do part-time freelancing as an operations manager. I'm actually helping a friend right now doing two things. I am helping a friend right now as project management. She has this project that she's working on. So I'm doing like, a small amount of hours for her every week as a project manager. And then I'm also on the side helping her from an operations standpoint, because I do also have a strategy operations background and desire to lean into more strategy and operation stuff. And I am helping her on the side build out her sales and marketing operations. So I just created my own part-time job. So that's something that you could consider doing as well. And if you're looking for, part-time work, if you're trying to come up with your own part-time work, the same places that I mentioned are also good. So, Indeed, if you go on Indeed, you can actually look for contract work. I don't know if you guys know this, but let me show you. I'm gonna just show you. Can I just show you? That's cool with y'all? Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Window. Let's share this window. Okay. All right. So if I go to Indeed right quick, and I search, I'm gonna take my city out. Mind your business. And then you're gonna tell everybody my email address. Oof. Okay. So I'm gonna look for project manager. And I'm just search for that. And then I'm gonna search for remote. See, it says hybrid or remote. And then I'm going to do contract. And boom, a bunch of contract stuff popped up. Integrations project manager. This is a contract position. So you can look for contract work as well. You can also say, I really want part-time as well. And you got some part-time stuff that popped up. So and I would look into this when it says remote in Texas. I would actually, some of these you got to open up because I don't think the data is that good yet. Maybe they do mean specifically in Texas, but some people's applicant tracking systems require them to put in a state. And so is it remote in Texas for real, or are they based in Texas, right? So you just kind of want to glance through here and see if they tell you need to be in Texas specifically. But like data warehouse project manager, this one just says remote contract, 35 an hour, 35 to 50 an hour. Okay. So it's that easy. It is that easy. Thanks for asking the question. Let me go to the next one. Any advice for people having trouble finding their transferable skills working remote? Your transferable skills have nothing to do with being remote. Let me say that. Nothing to do with you being remote, right? Your transferable skills are position to position. So, when you say IDK my niche, I don't know what that means. It sounds like you're trying to say, I don't know what I fit into, but I think you should be trying to figure out, A, can you do your current job remotely? And B, what would be a similar job that you can do remotely? I mean, I tend to think people can do almost anything, right? Serenity, I don't know what you do for a living right now, but whatever you're thinking about, whatever you do right now, why don't you find out if there's a way to do it remotely? And let me just throw this out there for you. For a lot of people, you assume that you can't do your existing job remotely, but a lot of people transition into consulting people in their current roles remotely. Let me give you an example. So let's say you work in retail, right? Let's say, well, I work in a retail store. I work at Old Navy. I'm a general manager at Old Navy, so I've been managing Old Navy stores for years, helping them, manage their um, teams and manage inventory and stuff like that. Well, you could go and consult with people who have retail businesses and help them build out their retail businesses because you have retail knowledge, right? Um, you can help people build their Shopify stores. Like you could go in and learn the Shopify tool and say, hey, I'll help you build out your Shopify store. And I'll tell you, like, these are the things that you need to be managing because I've managed a physical store before, right? So a lot of those things still transfer. That's just a left field example, but uh, for a lot of you, like if you are a truck driver, you could transition into selling routes, right? You can transition into um, brokering routes. You could also transition into buying trucks and hiring drivers, right? And then you're just managing the routes and purchasing routes and things like that to send drivers on. Like there are ways to transition it from physical remote work physical work to remote work, doing exactly what you already do, just with the knowledge that you already have. The other thing is if you have something that you are interested in that you think is vastly different from what you do right now, which I'm going to tell you might not be, what I suggest you do is start to look at um, look at 5 job postings, right? And go through those job postings and start looking at, well, what are these things from these job postings that I do have in my background? Those are your transferable skills, right? So if you are a teacher and you're looking at project management roles, you have a lot of that in your background already. You have managing stakeholders in your background already. You got to manage 3 groups of stakeholders as a teacher. You got to manage the students, you got to manage the parents, and you got to manage the administration, right? Managing projects, every single curriculum, every single semester is a project. All of it. Every lesson plan is a project, right? Managing project budgets. All y'all have classroom budgets. Those are transferable skills that you already have. And then the things that you don't have, a lot of you, when you look at these job postings and you see the stuff that you don't have, what you do is, it's what a lot of people do is take that and say, oh, well, I'm not good enough for this. This isn't for me. I'm not a fit. Rather than saying, this is now my development plan. Let me go and figure out how to get these things, right? And a lot of those things are not as difficult as you think. Like when you see somebody saying they want you to have knowledge of project management tools, nobody taught project managers how to manage project manager tools. We didn't go to some project management school where they taught us how to build project plans. We did not do that. We learned that on the job. You can learn that watching YouTube videos. Most of the software offers you at least a 14-day trial. Sign up for the software, try it out, see if you can figure it out, see if you can learn how to use it. So that would be my advice, right? Like, let's not stop at I don't have and I don't know. Let's start to get curious, and also to get creative as well. I hope to lean into entrepreneurship. If I decide to go back to 9 to 5, how do I explain the gap? And I hear business owners don't like, that's not a gap. You were working. What are you talking about? That's not a gap. Baby, give yourself a title. Just give yourself a title. The cool thing about being an entrepreneur is that you do all the jobs. And so therefore you can give yourself the title for whatever job you're applying for the most part, right? So for example, I left and traveled the world for an entire year. I started a company called My Wander Year, where I created a year abroad program and recruited 30 plus people to travel the world with me for an entire year. And then when I came back, I was looking for a job. I was looking for a project management job. You know what I titled myself on my resume and my LinkedIn? It definitely wasn't entrepreneur or founder. It was senior project manager or program manager, because that's what I did. I managed a huge project. That is every one of those quarters was a project. And that is not, it's not untrue at all. It's not a lie at all. I was also a project manager. I had a whole lot of roles. I was a marketing manager. I was a project manager. I was a finance manager. I was in sales. I was in customer service. And so it's just, which of those jobs am I going to talk about? That's not a gap. It's a job. I had a job. I had a real freaking job, and it was a hard one. It was a really, really hard one. So I put on there, and I think right now, I think on my most recent resume, it says like VP of strategy and operations or something like that, which is also true, right? I had to come up with a strategy for how I would build this business and how I would grow this business. I also had to build out all the operations for the business. So yeah, friend, A, not a gap. B, give yourself a title. It's not a gap. Not a gap at all. All right. Good question though. And you're right. A lot of companies don't want to hear about entrepreneurship, even though they tell you they want you to be entrepreneurial, which is wild. They're just scared you're going to go start a business again, which, child, everybody is in danger. Everybody. Finding which remote job I'll be able to transfer into. Used to work as a lab tech in biotech. Got it. A quality control. Ooh, you used to work in quality control. Have you ever thought about being a QA tester? That might be something to look into. And you can take courses on you can take courses for that. You can go on Coursera, I think, and take a course to be a QA tester. So it's basically what you did as a lab tech, but for software. And being a software tester is, I'll tell y'all something. I say words like tech and people get nervous. I feel a sneeze coming on. I feel a sneeze coming. Excuse me. I say words like tech and people get nervous and they be like, I'm not in tech. I'm not technical. I'm going to tell you something. All of y'all are beta testers. All of y'all are software testers. Every last one of us is software testers. Just the mere fact that we open software applications and utilize them, we are testing the software for the most part, right? And then when you have something wrong, if you see, let's say that you log into Instagram, Facebook, or your bank account, right? And you have trouble logging in and you log a ticket with support, you send an email to support and say, hey, I'm not able to log into my bank account. Or you log into Spirit Airlines and you can't see your what is the word? Boarding pass. You email or contact customer service and say, I can't see my boarding pass. That's literally what QA testers do. That is, I'm telling you, it is literally what QA testers do. They basically, once developers have built something, they then go and test it as a user. So you would act like Libryia trying to log into this software so that I can go live on YouTube. And if it doesn't work like it said it's supposed to work, then you just tell them it doesn't work. Like that's QA testing. So back to transferable skills, you have quality control in your background. So you can transfer that into QA testing. MD Gonzalez said that she's been out of work since March. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. I've worked remotely since 2014 and been told by recruiters due to my industry. Remote work is a pipe dream. Oh, interesting. That's wild. I don't think anything's a pipe dream. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting an office job for now and continuing to pursue, but let's prove those recruiters wrong, shall we? In fact, I just saw a finance job. at the company I actually like a lot. Let me show you something. Share screen. Window. Share this window again. Watch this. Okay, first of all, there's a company called Doist. I think is it Doist that's hiring? So Doist never hires. And I think they have 3 jobs open right now. Is one of them in finance? No, it's marketing. Somebody has a job in finance right now that I just saw. And it's a fully like remote first company. Is it Hostaway? Am I crazy? I know I saw this because I was like, man, I used to be in finance. Should I go back? Finance. Oh, they're looking for somebody in the Philippines. Yeah, they're looking for somebody in the Philippines. I'm like, I know I just saw a finance position somewhere. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to remote.co real fast. Let's go to remote.co and go down to what I like about remote.co. A is it's free, and B, it categorizes remote jobs. If you go to accounting and finance jobs, there's finance jobs all up in here, right? And then if I go to, what did you do in finance? What was your title? Can you tell me what your title is? But if I do financial analyst and remote, oops, look at what I get. Actually, financial analyst. I'm gonna get to oh, they changed the way their job board looks. Huh. Financial analyst and jobs. This is Google's remote job. I mean Google's job board. So Google has a job board as well. It's looking for for Tallahassee though. I didn't ask you to do that at all. Did not ask for that. Can I just turn off my location? You got to make sure your location is turned off because my location isn't on. That's weird. Anyway, these are remote jobs where I am right now, but like Talentify is looking for a senior financial analyst. That's a remote position. These are a lot of people. Sadly, this is just tying me to North America. This is new. Oh, TopTool is looking for a remote financial analyst as well. TopTool hires contractors, basically. So does Belay Solutions, BELAY Solutions. They are usually looking for people in finance also. The other place I would look is like HR companies. They're usually looking for people. Ooh, ADT. ADT needs somebody. ADT is looking for someone, a senior financial analyst. All that to say, child, there's remote jobs out there. You just got to look for them, right? Again, the market is slow, but pipe dream is not an accurate statement at all. Remote jobs in general are definitely more competitive than they used to be. I will say that remote jobs in general are way more competitive. And I want to also mention, because I showed you guys remote.co, I think remote.co has started to reduce the amount of jobs that they post because it's owned by Flex Jobs, right? And Flex Jobs charges a fee. I don't think it's a high fee, right? I think Flex Jobs is pretty reasonable for the benefit that they offer, because it's not just about the job search. They have a whole lot of resources and live events, and then they also offer coaching as well to people who pay their monthly membership. But I think that they are now trying to funnel people, use remote.co as like the landing page to get people to sign up for Flex Jobs. So I'm seeing less jobs posted on remote.co. But even if we went to Indeed, like let's just go, let's do it again. Let's just go to Indeed. Which is, it's so funny that I'm telling you to go to Indeed, because like a few years ago I would have been like, yeah, y'all stay off of Indeed and LinkedIn, because it's not a great place to find remote jobs, because they didn't even have a remote job filter, a few years ago. They just didn't. So that says 2,000 plus jobs, friend. I just put finance, but let me put financial analyst. And remote. And that says 200 plus jobs. So just saying, I think pipe dream might be inaccurate. You can also look up business analyst. If you type the word "or" in caps, it lets the search engine know that either of these things are options for you. And then if you put it in quotes, it makes it a little bit easier to get what you're looking for too. Didn't think I was a human because I'm talking to it like it's a computer. But there's analyst positions as well. Principal analyst, finance business analyst, business rules analyst, business analyst. So those are two pretty good positions to look for, business analyst and financial analyst. And you can look for them separately as well. Let's see. Check out the QA. Yeah, check out the QA tester thing. Thank you, Becoming Nirel. Hi, Nirel. Girl, you missed the whole conversation about hair at the beginning. I was venting about my hair. This is a wig, friend. Do I have an affiliate link for Flex Jobs? I probably do, but I'm not. I have to go find it. Just go and sign up, child. Just go and sign up. I don't need the credit. Is there a way to distinguish a ghost job listing from a real listing? There's not, unfortunately, that I'm aware of, really. Especially if it's on the company's website, right? Like, I will say some companies aren't posting positions on their website. They are using third parties, which is normal. It is normal, especially for um, smaller companies that just don't have this built-in, these built-in ATS systems. Like, a lot of companies are using Workday, and so they can easily, the Home Depots of the world, they have all that stuff integrated into all of their systems, into what we would call in the tech space their architecture, their systems architecture. But some companies don't have all that, right? They've got very basic baseline. They don't even have HR information systems set up yet, aside from like whatever they're using to pay, probably QuickBooks, right? Whatever they're using to pay people and manage their accounting. So you will see job postings on separate sites, and it may not be, what am I trying to say? It may not be that they are, I'm sorry, my housekeeper's calling me. I'm a little bit distracted. I think we got our wires crossed. She went to my Airbnb to clean, and my people are still there today. Whoops. My bad. That's my bad. Anyway, it may not be a ghosted job posting just because you don't see it on the website. Some companies do not post those on their website. They just don't have the bandwidth to do that. Or they'll link it to the third party, right? So is there a way? Not that I'm aware of at this point. It is unfortunate that there are ghost job postings out there. And some of these ghost postings are on companies' websites, right? So for example, if those of you who don't know what a ghost job posting is, it's not a real job. Like, it's either it's already been filled and they just haven't taken it down. They are just posting it for to garner interest. They are posting it for marketing purposes. They're posting it to like boost their websites, yada yada yada. No, I don't think there's a way to do that, friend. Unfortunately, we are as job seekers, you guys are at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to that. But I'd also say I think it's beneficial if it's a job that you're really interested in. Here's again why it's beneficial to network with people that work at the companies you want to work for. I think you should all have 3 to 5 companies that you're just like, I would just love to work for these people, right? I want to work here. And if you're networking with these people, you can always ask folks, right? Is this I saw this job posting. Do you know who the hiring manager is? Or I saw this job posting. Would you mind connecting me with the recruiter? Right. So networking with people can help do that. But I don't think there's an easy, like, systematic way. I'll look into it, but not that I can think of. Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta run. It's 11:34. I'm usually here for 30 minutes. So I'm a little bit over, but it's always fun hanging out with you guys. If you are not part of the Quick Commuting Academy, you are always welcome to join. I do this once a week in the Quick Commuting Academy. Let me drop the link to it here in the chat box. You are always able to join. I do these one-on-one sessions weekly in there. Sorry, I do these group sessions, weekly in there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for those of you who be sliding in my inbox on Instagram asking for one-to-one sessions, a lot of those weekly sessions end up being one-to-one sessions for some people, because a lot of people don't really show up to those. So the last 2 times, it was just me and this young lady named Jacqueline, me and her just in there talking. So if you join the community, it's $29.99 a month. You can cancel at any time, and you get access to a lot of different things. Real quick, can you check out my email about being charged for the Quick Commuting 30-day trial? Are you not being assisted by the customer service team, Serenity? And I need more information than check out my email. Like, I don't know your email address. Your actual name would be helpful, unless your real name is Serenity. Also, are you saying that they haven't gotten back to you? Really? She's usually pretty good at getting back to people. I will check in, but I actually need your name, though. I need some information to identify you by other than that. if you don't mind. Break that down for me, please. That said, you guys are welcome to join the Quick Commuting Academy. You can cancel at any time. Usually we don't have these customer service issues, but I will check in. Oh, you know what, Serenity? I just remembered our customer service person was stuck in no, just can you just tell me your first name here? It's fine. That's fine. My Instagram inbox is not a great place to be. that's not a great place to get help for me. But okay, I will ask Libryia if she's seen an email. But anyway, our customer service person, just so you know, she was stuck in another city. She got stuck, caught up in the whole what is the word? She got caught up in the whole fiasco with the airlines. So that didn't just happen in the US. It happened all over the world, right? All over the world. So she got stuck in the airport. And then when she finally started getting out, they also got caught up in an impending typhoon. So she has just kind of been struggling. I think she just got back home a day ago, yesterday. She just got back home yesterday. So yeah. So it was a CrowdStrike fiasco first, and then that got cleared up. They got her on a flight, and then that flight kept getting canceled and delayed because there was a typhoon. She lives in the Philippines, so tough. Yeah, I don't really do one-to-ones. The person that said Stephanie recommended your channel, I will try to catch your lives more often. I message you for a one-to-one. If you message me on Instagram, child, my DMs are trash. Like the people I talk to on Instagram are like people I already know. I really use Instagram as a place for me to just have a good time, to be honest, and chat with people in general. I don't like to work on Instagram. And I don't do one-to-one. I probably do one-to-ones twice a year. So your best bet is to join the community and come to the weekly sections. So yeah, sorry about that, Serenity. I was like, why hasn't she gotten back to you? And then it hit me that she was caught up in all of that mess last week. So apologies for that. All right. Y'all have a great afternoon. Have a great Saturday. I'm gonna go figure out what to do with my hair under this hair. Bye, y'all.